So hello guys, and welcome to this hands-on series on Python. So in the last video we looked how you can write and execute your Python program. So in order to do so, you open up a terminal, type the name of your text editor, for example Notepad in case of Windows, and then give a space followed by the name of the file you want to give. So as you can see, I'm using VS Code for this video, which is quite convenient to use because it has integrated a file explorer over here, an editor in the middle, and a terminal at the bottom. Okay, so it has some quite amazing features that you can enable by downloading plugins, and I'll leave the link to download VS Code in the description. Okay, so to start working with VS Code, first you need to open your working folder. So to do that, go to File and select the option Open Folder. Okay, so as soon as you open your folder, it will be displayed in the Explorer here, and it will be set as the working directory in your terminal. Okay, so next you click this icon to create a new file, and you give a name to it, and then you can start working with it in the editor. Okay, so in this video we'll go deeper with strings in Python. So in the last video we looked at how comments are defined. So those are basically single line comments, and Python doesn't actually support multi-line comments, but in many cases you can define a multi-line string instead, and Python will ignore it as long as it is not the starting statement of a function or a class. Okay, so as you can see over here, I have defined a multi-line string which will be considered as a multi-line comment because this is not the starting statement of a function or a class. Okay, so next we'll see how characters in a string are indexed, or you can simply say how they are numbered, because this is necessary to understand how you can exactly pinpoint a character in a string. Okay, so strings are basically stored as a sequence of characters, and so they are indexed. Okay, so they are given an index. Okay, for example, I have a string modern engineers over here. So starting from the forward direction, and the first character, which is M, it is given the index 0, the second character is given the index 1, third character is given the index 2, and so on. Okay, but one thing to note here is that the space, okay, the space is also given an index. Okay, so this is because spaces in a string are also considered as a character, and by default they are also given an index, right? So wherever you enter a space, it will also be given an index, right? Similarly, from the reverse direction also, if you look at S, okay, so it is given an index, but in this case it is negative, which means the reverse direction or the backwards direction. Okay, so S is given the index -1, which means that it is the last character, it is the first character from the last. Similarly, R is given the index -2, which means the second character from the last. Similarly, E is given the index -3, which means the third character from the last. Okay, and so on, right? All right, so now we will see how you can display specific characters in a string in Python. Okay, so to make things easier, I'll define a variable. So this is my string. So you can basically think of variables as storage bins that store your data throughout the program, and instead of typing the data over and over again, you can just simply call this variable, and you are all good to go. Okay, so I'll give the equal sign. So equal sign means assignment. So I'm going to assign the string modern engineers to the variable my string. Okay, so I'll give us comment over here. All right, so now, for example, if I want to display the third character, which is D, so I can do that using the print statement. Okay, so I just type in print. Okay, I specify the name of my variable, and I start a square bracket over here. Okay, so I now give the index of the third character, which is 3 - 1, 2. Okay, so index of the third character is 2. Save it and execute this. So as you can see, the third character is being displayed. Okay, So similarly, you can also display the fifth character, which index is 5 minus 1, which is 4. So you can also display the fifth character, and here you go. Okay, similarly the sixth character, the index is 6 minus 1, 5, right? So here you go. Okay, so now if you want to display the characters from the last, then you can also do that using their indexes. Okay, so if I want to display the last character, which is the first character from the last, I specify in its index, which is minus 1. Okay, so minus 1 basically means that the first character from the last. Okay, so when I execute this, you can see that the last character is being displayed. Okay, similarly the fifth character from the last can also be displayed, so minus 5. Okay, and so on. Okay, so now if you want to display a specific sequence of characters in a string, you can also do that. Okay, so for example, if I want to display the word modern, then I can also do that. Okay, so in this case I need to specify the index of the first character, which is 0. I give a colon. Okay, and I give the position of the last character, which is n, having an index 5, and its position is 5 plus 1, which is 6. Okay, so basically what this statement does is that it will display all the characters starting from the index 0 and having an index less than 6. Okay, which is 5, right? So it will display all the characters starting from index 0 and having an index less than 6, which is 5. Okay, so I'll basically get all the characters from 0 to 5. Okay, so this is read as 0 to 5. Okay, so I save this and I execute this. Okay, so here you go, I have the word modern. Okay, so this process is known as slicing. Okay, for slicing, you just specify the index of the first character and you specify the position of the last character, which is its index plus 1. Okay, so for the fifth character, its position is 5 plus 1, which is 6. Okay, so that's all for this video. Goodbye, happy learning.